Hi, I'm Leanna Barrett, and I and my husband created Little Forest Folk because we wanted a better world for our own children. At 9 months old, my baby girl would crawl to our patio doors and would hammer on them trying to go outside in the garden. We spent most of the first 2 years of her life outdoors, crawling in mud and picking leaves out of our hair. Then it became time for me to return to work, and when I visited local nurseries, I was really disappointed to see that if she did go into a nursery, she would spend most of her day indoors playing with plastic. If she did get to go outside, it was usually for 1 to 2 hours a day, and it was to a sterile environment where not a blade of grass grew. I wanted more for my daughter. I wanted her to be able to enjoy the childhood that I enjoyed, so we created Little Forest Folk, which is a full-time forest nursery in London. We take 2 to 5-year-old children, and from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, spring, summer, autumn, winter, rain, hail, snow, shine, we're outside in forests, engaging with nature and allowing children to be free and to be children. There's so much evidence that getting children outdoors is the best possible start for them. There's increases in diabetes, there's increases in childhood obesity. Children are having behavioural problems. There's a mental health epidemic in the UK, and all of these can be helped if we just allow children to be outside. We've got a generation of children that's more disconnected from nature than any generation in the history of mankind. We're allowing these children to grow up in a way that they are removed and detached from nature, which is contributing towards the significant mental and health problems, but is also creating a generation of children that don't necessarily know, understand and respect nature. And if they don't love, understand and respect nature, how can we expect them to be the future custodians of the planet and be the children that are going to carry our society forward? During a recent seminar, I went to listen to Tim Gill, and he uttered a phrase that brought tears instantly to my eyes because it's so true. This is the first generation of children that are effectively being reared in captivity. Children that I know in London, they have a hectic schedule, they have very busy days at school, they have structured play dates, they have structured activities after school, they go to clubs, and they have very little time to just go outside, be outside and just play. And that freedom is so important to children. In the UK at least, the home habitat that children could explore themselves alone without an adult supervision has declined by 9 times in a single generation. So we have this generation of children that they don't play in nature anymore, they don't have freedom, they're not given the chance to be who they need to be to learn the lessons to become successful, strong, resilient characters for now and in their adult life. If we allow children to play in the forest, they can't help but be physically active all day long. They run, they climb, they roll, they slither, they jump, they balance. Their physical development is astonishing. Play in the forest is also incredibly imaginative. When you allow them to play with sticks, mud, rather than prescriptive, entertaining toys, the sky's the limit. They have no roof on what they can play with because it's all down to their imagination. And you'll notice when children play in the forest that partly because their play is so creative and it's so imaginative, it tends to be involve a lot around role plays and communication, and the children are using their language to extend their play and to think of new things to play with. And because of this, it's rare to see children playing on their own in the forest. They are almost always playing collaboratively, and they're enhancing their play continually through communication and incredibly rich language.
I can see the troll!
You can see the troll?
Yes, that's what we do. We need to catch it
Oh
up.
yeah, that looks like the sort of bogs that a troll would live in, doesn't it?
There's a troll over there, quick. Yeah, and that's the name of the troll thing.
If we allow children to engage in risky play and engage in physical play, it allows them to learn about their personal boundaries in life. It allows them to learn what they're capable of and what they're comfortable with. We have 2 to 5-year-olds joining us in the forest. to illustrate how they learn. We have 2-year-olds who first come in and watch their friends. They stand back and they watch their friends doing something that they've not imagined they could do. They watch someone climbing a tree, and the 2-year-old will stand back and just watch quietly. People might think that child's doing nothing and that child's learning nothing, but let them be, because that child is formulating a plan in their head and they're learning from their friends. They'll watch, first of all, they'll have a look at what their handholds that their friends are using, what their footholds are, and they'll watch until one day they're comfortable enough to try themselves. They've learned that they can accomplish things themselves, that they're independent. They've learned to trust in themselves, and they've gained a confidence. I feel that schooling today doesn't just need a tweak, it doesn't need an adaptation, it needs a complete redesign. We need to create schooling and education that is based upon the future and remove it from the roots that it has currently in the Industrial Revolution. We need to let children play. We need to let them have a deep and regular connection to the natural world. We need to let them be children and leave their childhood alone.